Want some candy?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for candy, man, bitch.
Give me some sugar, baby. Like scary movies.
Uh-huh. Want some candy?
Yeah, nothing wrong with a little banquet.
All right, are we ready to get into it?
Yeah.
What's up, all you slimy little weirdos? We're back, and we're staying on the John Carpenter train till the end of the month. With us tonight to help us out is our homie, Scarlett from Down the Hatch Food Reviews. And she is going to help us out on John Carpenter's 1982 science fiction masterpiece, The Thing. What's up, Scarlett?
Not much. Thanks for having me. Love this one.
Thanks for joining us. As always, I'm Screamin' E from the Memphis Murder Men, and Oubliette Sparks from Tsunami Bomb is here with me as well.
Hi, I'm here.
So, should we just get right into some horror news? Brought to you by Time Bomb Toys, located
The best.
at 300 Camp Horn Road in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Check them out in person or online at timebombtoys.com for all your horror collectible needs, guys. Time Bomb Toys. They're great.
So great.
Awesome.
The best.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Anyway, horror news. Who's got some little tidbits of horror news? I mean, it's literally just all fucking Terrifier. It's like Art the Clown has a boner. Art the Clown fucking ate some crackers. Art the Clown, blah, blah, blah. Damien
Art the
Leone.
Clown made me buy tickets for the wrong day, so I didn't see it.
Oh,
My local theater has the worst app ever, but I love that you can pick your seats, even though the app is so glitchy because we always sit in the same seats. And I also like seeing how many tickets have been sold, so I use it.
Right.
And this is the second time something bad has happened. And this time I bought tickets for the day before I really wanted to see it. And it was actually really funny because we went out to eat and we kind of had to rush through our meal to get there in time. And as we were driving there, I was like, I really don't feel like seeing Terrifier 3. Like, I just watched Terrifier 2 again last night, and it's too much art and the clown, not like art. And I thought in my head, like, it'd be really funny if I bought tickets for like tomorrow or the wrong day so I don't have to see it. And like, as we go in, I pull up the QR code and I just start fucking laughing. I bought tickets for the wrong day.
there you go.
I missed my showing, and so I didn't have to watch it. I will watch it. I want to watch it. I just didn't want to watch it then.
Yeah.
So that's my Art the Clown news to contribute to the piles of art news.
Yes. Much art news. I
I found news that wasn't art.
Holy shit.
What do you got?
I just have a few, or just a couple things. Halloween, the original, will be in theaters on Halloween, at the Cinemark movie theaters. And then at some select theaters, Halloween 4, Halloween 5 are also going to be shown, which, why would you show those?
Yeah, I was going to say, why did they pick those?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's always cool to see that anytime, be it Halloween or not. And my other one is the trailer for Werewolves came out. Yeah. It gives you a better look at the werewolves, which are still not great, but they're just way better than the Wolfman, or from what we've seen of the Wolfman. And it definitely gives you a little more insight to the movie. Apparently there's a supermoon event that triggers a gene in everybody that turns them into werewolves. So that's fun. Like, close to 1 billion people die in the chaos, and that's cool. there's a lot of military activity going on, which leads me to believe it's probably some like government conspiracy that they didn't know was going to happen and triggered everyone to turn into werewolves. Yeah, it's very
Werewolf piss in
yeah,
the water.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it looks, it basically looks like a 28 Days Later, but with werewolves type deal, like apocalyptic stuff. It looks fun. Will it be great or even good? I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine because everything is fine nowadays. And even,
If ish.
yeah, even when they say it's going to be better than fine, it's,
Ugh, no, that's when it's bad. That is when it's real bad.
Yeah, when people
Yeah.
say things are amazing, it's
Yeah.
crap.
Don't listen.
Just
It's
crap.
not true.
it
It's
is not
opposite
true.
day all the time.
Yes. It feels like that. It feels like people just are like get so overwhelmingly positive about how awesome a movie is. And it never meets the expectations, which is fine. Like I don't expect it to, but it's always the goriest, the most terrifying. We've said this 1,000 times, but it's like every movie that comes out. First it was The Substance, or first it was Long Legs.
It
Then-
wasn't The Substance first.
Yeah.
This has been a long,
it does.
long
Right.
line. Pre-Long Legs. Long Legs is the straw that broke the camel's back and made me want to just take a break from horror.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm talking about mostly like this year. Like Long Legs was like, oh my god, it's fucking crazy.
That was the one
You
this
gotta-
year.
oh.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it wasn't.
That one was the worst ever.
It-
It was,
Ever.
yeah.
I still think that there's another fucking copy of that movie that 75% of the people who saw it watched that I did not see because I can't. I'm done.
Well, I don't understand. I just don't understand anything. I don't understand anything anymore.
My brother
Nothing
thinks
makes
it's
sense.
my brother thought it was great. And he still says that every time. And I'm like, I hate you. I was like, it's
No.
literally one of the worst movies I've seen. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Well, there's like a large swath of horror fans that are all like, well, you just don't get it.
Yeah.
It was a
Oh yeah. You just
dark
don't get it because you don't
horror,
understand
comedy,
art
whatever.
and blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
blah. Yeah. Okay.
And it's funny watching people just fall over themselves to defend Terrifier when anyone comes out and was like, these movies suck. Like they just lose their shit. They're all like, what the fuck? Fuck you, you piece of shit. You're fucking stupid and have no taste. Like it's so crazy. And they try and defend it as some like,
Yeah.
I mean, not elevated horror, but like, oh, it's so smart and whatever Damien Leon's doing this smart thing and whatever, but then also will agree that it's just like gore for gore's sake.
Yeah.
But also be like, well, so what? And it's like, well, it's not.
And it's
both.
fine.
Yeah,
It's a good movie. Like it's fun.
They're
It's a
whatever.
good time.
Yeah, they're
But
fine.
you know what? They're not. I don't think that they're trying to make anything else other than what they.
I don't think they are. And I
They
and I
had
think there's
super low budgets and made a bunch of fucking money. Good for them.
and
Good for
everybody
them.
else is just like, this is the best. And he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Yeah.
He's like, whatever.
Thanks,
dudes.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
love silent movies. I love slapsticky type stuff. I think Art is a great horror movie villain, and because of that, and like that actor really did that well. Some of the other stuff questionable, but it's really gory and shocking and fun. So like
I was-
whatever. Good
I
for
was
him. Make some
so
money.
because I recently watched like both of them, and I was
Mhm.
shook. Like when I was done watching, I was like, how do this many people love this? But
Yeah.
a lot of the people that say they love it are like the type of people that are like, oh, I like. Most of them are like, oh, I'm not super into horror, and I'm like, but you like that?
Yeah.
Like, do you just like it because of the gore? Like, do you like it because it's fun? Like, I'm like, okay, or are you just hopping on a bandwagon like everybody else?
Well,
I'm like,
it's total.
it's good, but I'm
bandwagon,
like, yeah,
right.
it's super weird.
And like toxic positivity, or like you have to like it because it's popular and successful, and it's like that's cool,
Yeah.
but like that's
Or
not
maybe
always
some
a
people
good-
didn't know they liked really depraved sick shit, and they
Right.
do.
Dude, right? Yeah. Like,
Which
I'm
is
like,
also
okay,
fine.
cool. Yeah.
But they're
fine.
just
Because
all
I
over
have
the
had
place.
people like that aren't horror movie fans, and they wanted to talk to me about it because I am, and they're just like, and that part in the bedroom, and he's sawing, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
think that just woke something up inside you.
Yeah.
Like, my
That's
husband
kind of weird.
doesn't like horror, but like he'll watch stuff with gore. But like if
Right.
something's gonna like scare him, he's like, no, I'm out.
Right.
But
right.
if it's like, he's like, oh, I can watch gore. Like, I'm fine with that. I can watch torture stuff. And I'm like, the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they're
that's
just-
more common than
Yeah. The thing.
Sleep with one eye open, Scarlet Rick.
It's true. Gripping my pillow thing.
Exit.
I knew you were gonna do it. I knew it. I was like,
glad you picked up
no
what
one
I
can
was
do
putting
this.
down.
Why?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get to talk about Terrifier 3 once Oubliette sees it. But
I haven't seen any of that. I gotta go check it out.
yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's in line with all the other two.
That's fine then. Yeah.
Like it is what it
But
is.
you said you liked it a little better.
I liked
So it's
it.
more cohesive.
Yeah, better than the second one, because the second one was just like long and there's just a lot of shit that you're just
so
like,
much
what?
going on.
I mean, I was texting you. I forgot how fucking long it was. My sister-in-law wanted to see something and wanted me to suggest something, and I was like, oh well, maybe let's watch Terrifier 2. Because she always asked me to put on horror movies, and I was like texting, like, was it always this fucking long? Did they like cut some of the gore out? Because to me, this all of a sudden seems really like toned down and just fucking long.
Right.
But it's because the first time you see it, you have that shock on some of the gore, and the second time you're just like, oh, it's not. Yeah,
Just sitting
it's
there on
fine.
the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
whatever, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, you see it and it's like, oh, okay. Like practical effects, God bless them, great. But when you use it like 40 times within the first hour, like that 41st time, you're like, all right, you're sawing some rubber in half again.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So it has the same effect, but there's just a little bit more of a story in the third one, which I liked better. But yeah, anyway, that's all my news. Anything else?
I have 2.
Ooh.
And so the first one is super short. As of today, Marvel has removed Blade from all future calendars officially. Like it's done. I mean, it looks like it's not, just not.
Right.
So, I mean, it was looking like that was kind of going to happen, but the fact that they just kind of updated the calendars, didn't say anything, and re-uploaded them into old posts without Blade is kind of funny. Like no
Hey, times are
announcements,
tough.
just
You
kind
gotta-
of like, what's going to be funny though is, well, I guess internet tracks things way more
just
now, but
white
that's like a
out
Mandela
over-
effect thing.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be some kid one day being like, man, I knew there was going to be a new Blade movie, but
Yeah.
and there was
but
an
it never
actor and I
happened.
saw a picture. But yeah, where I remember another Blade of the Wesley Snipes. But yeah, they had pushed back the filming for a year. Like the filmmaker, like they've gone through a couple filmmakers, and now it's just like, so that's that.
It's funny that like I don't know if it's just because of the internet and how things are marketed now that they're like, hey, there's gonna be this new movie coming out in 3 years. Be on the lookout for it. Like when we were young, we didn't really have the internet. So
Mm-mm. You saw posters when you went to the movie or
Right.
the newspaper.
Right. Like you didn't
like,
get a heads up
entertainment section.
2 years in advance. It just, when it was done,
No.
it got put out. But I wonder how many movies didn't end up getting put out. Like you don't
No,
even
I mean,
hear about
tons.
stuff like that though.
Yeah.
Some are being filmed and not even released.
Right.
Like they just fucking filmed them and then stopped in editing and were like, meh, we only spent 20 million, whatever.
Well, like
You're
back,
wait, what?
but like back then, if they
Oh,
were just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
we just spent the money, we need to put this horrible fucking movie out regardless. And now they're
I
just
don't
like, meh, we'll get that tax write off. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which, yeah, Salem's Lot.
Yeah, totally. You just or Toxic Avenger
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of
that
shit.
has like named talent in it that's just like poof, where did that go? I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Somewhere. What do you mean Peter Dinklage Toxic Avenger? We don't
Well,
know.
That was never gonna. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. And they filmed that whole like that movie's done. It like played they released it too in like a whatever film festival.
Yeah.
People saw it and then it's just like what movie?
Nobody saw anything.
You guys were all in cocaine. We didn't make that movie. Yeah. So that's part one of my news. The other part, so I had heard like rumblings of projects similar to this and possibly this project, but I had heard I thought that there was like some sort of law that got put into effect to not allow it, but Meta, our favorite company,
Yeah.
just unveiled an AI tie-up with Blumhouse, and it's
Jesus Christ.
actually now being like it's 100%. It's about to be released, and it's an AI video tool called Movie Gen, where the AI basically can start creating the movie for you as you're making it. Of course, they got like people pushing back everything, but they gave all these famous people early access to it. One of the people that gave early access to it was Casey Affleck, and I'm sure they gave him also a lot of money to just say it's more like a collaborator or kind of a tool. It's not generating very much AI,
Right.
while other people say that it's just fucking crazy, and you can just type in like actors' names, what you want them to do, and it like yeah,
Of
and
course.
film
Yeah.
kind of them making faces, and it just takes it from there and puts them wherever you need them to be.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how anyone can believe anybody, especially people that run things like that anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you that you're not going to
Yeah.
use this tool for evil.
Yeah. Somebody is.
Yeah.
But what's crazy now too, like think of it also from, like an actor's standpoint. Let's say we have actors that are like, I don't fucking care if it's really me doing it or not. I'll do
Right.
these few shots, I'll sign away my likeness, I'll get a check. Awesome.
That's true.
And we're in a place where we're watching movies that are just like these created movies by a robot.
I mean, sure.
But also, like, what are we feeding? We're feeding AI like these fantastical things, right?
Right.
Which, on top of it, just seems like a real bad idea.
Right. But then
Not that AI doesn't have access to all the movies
Right.
and books and everything and can kind of adapt, but it's just like it's real weird.
It is weird. But then on the flip side, it's like, well, we've had cartoons since forever. Sure, someone's drawing them or whatever, but it's still an animated thing with someone with a voice, maybe of an actor. So I get it, but it's just the direction we're heading. And I don't think there's any real way to stop it.
No, I mean, you even see now in social posts of like fucking some giant 7-foot long caterpillar in someone's room, and they're like, look at the crazy animal that just got discovered. And I'm like, one day no one's gonna know what's real and what's bullshit because you're doing shit like this.
Right.
But
a lot of old people that don't. They're always posting stuff online. I'm like, that's AI.
Yeah.
And they're like, no,
yeah.
It's not. It's real. I'm like, no,
my dad does that shit. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, like I know your eyesight's bad, but like zoom in.
People our age do it. They're like, did you hear look at these Diddy pictures? And you're like, dude, it's Diddy, J-Lo, and whoever. You're like, that's not real. Like you could see where the head was put on.
No. It's scary. The website's live. If you go to the website, you'll already see stuff that's been being posted online that you've seen and been like, that's bullshit. There's no fucking animal that looks like that. Their website is basically like, here's their mission statement. Movie Gen sets a new standard for immersive AI content. Our latest research breakthroughs demonstrate how you can use simple text inputs to produce custom videos and sounds, edit existing videos, and transform your own personal image into a unique video.
What can go wrong?
But yeah, and they have all kinds of examples. Like I said, you're going to recognize a lot of them. Like some of the crazy stuff, like you can film something with your phone, not unlike some of the filters on Snapchat and TikTok, but you could film yourself like running or something, but then change you into anything. Like you could be like, oh, that's me, but now I'm Freddy Krueger, or now I'm Yoshi, or now I'm a fucking raccoon, or whatever you want. So I mean,
this might be fun.
It's gonna be it'll be super fun to play with. Do not get me wrong. I will use the shit out of it and create some cool shit. But on the other end, gonna change the name of the game with
Oh,
accessibility to it. And because I was kind of reading more into it, looking into it, like legally, like these production companies can also use it and not really necessarily disclose what or how they did what they did.
Right. And
Interesting.
that's the fucked up part.
Yeah.
Is what they're gonna say or do and not disclose it, or just kind of fuck people out of, money that they should
I think they'll start using it for a lot of sex scenes and things like that, like the
Well,
things
yeah.
that people don't necessarily want to do.
Yeah,
in movies.
absolutely. Oh,
Like-
you don't want to show your boobs?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
make me have a magnum
problem.
dong.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Bigger.
yeah. Like
Bigger.
like we yeah. Like instead of paying for an intimacy coordinator for half the price, you can just like be like, this is what they're going to do. And
Yeah.
you can make them look perfect or awful
Right.
or whatever.
Or ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was, I don't know. Look it up. You can go down a little bit of a rabbit hole. It is super cool and will be fun, but it also opens the door for a lot of very not so cool things to potentially happen.
Yeah, I hate. I mean, I have like a love-hate relationship with AI.
Right.
Same.
Not a
Same with
fan.
social media. It's like
Right.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
there's
like-
plenty of benefits to like all of it and like accessibility and how like how we can just do so much on our phone now. It's great, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, wish I could just throw it out the window sometimes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Well.
yay!
Hooray!
Horror news.
That'll
Woo!
Great.
definitely make things interesting in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Scarlett, you got anything?
No,
Okay.
no. I was looking and I just got distracted by a bunch of art. The clown, how much money
Yeah.
it's made.
Cool. All right. Well, since no one's got anything else, that's been all right. The Carpenter train keeps chugging along with the thing.
Choo choo, baby.
That was my train.
Ooh, that train just got sassy right there.
that train had good rhythm too. I'm
It
just gonna
slowed
say.
down to a nice little shimmy. We like it.
Mhm.
Wah, wah.
This has so much to do with the movie.
Yeah. The Thing. A research team in Antarctica is hunted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of its victims and wreaks havoc and wants to take over the world. The Thing. 1982, John Carpenter. This movie rules.
Absolutely.
It's a good one.
It is a good one. It is a science fiction masterpiece. And I mean, there's a shit ton of things to love about it. I might start off with things I didn't like about it, so we can end on a high note, and just all over it instead of shitting all over it.
All over its back.
All over its back, like Dom, all over its butt.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so back
I was
on
dying.
track. Yes. There's not too much I didn't like about it, but there's a couple. Just the overall wonkiness of how it replicates.
Alien.
Right. It's like in every notable scene, it's the messiest, fucking vicious happening ever. Shit's getting spit on and squirted and fucking torn apart and blah blah blah. Yeah, all the
little
tentacles,
things flailing. Yeah.
everything. Like
And
it's
then at
never
the end.
quiet. It's never quiet. Yeah, right. And then there's the one scene with Bennings when he saw him in the storeroom and he's like and he's like getting choked up, but it's like, all right, so but then it puts on the clothes, like, but then it doesn't have clothes. Like, does it go and find clothes? Like, how do they not know some weird naked things walking around?
No, can it? If you're a shapeshifter, you can shapeshift into clothes, bro.
I think that's what's happening. I think that's what technically what's happening in it.
No,
Because the original clothes rip off,
right.
but then it's like I think they form new clothes.
maybe.
They have
I mean, that's
to,
what
man.
it
It's a
seems like.
shapeshifter. Why wouldn't the shapeshifter
Maybe.
turn into clothes too?
Because
That's why they were
That's a
so
dumb-
worried when they found his jacket.
but
That's
they
a
can't,
dumbass shapeshifter then.
but
That's
they
a
And then he was
can't-
wearing the same
dumb,
jacket.
dumb
The
shapeshifter.
right, but they're always wearing the same clothes ish, but they can't replicate inanimate objects. It has to be organic.
Okay, but perhaps the
What if
shapeshifter has a
the
style.
clothes are organic?
Right. No, I know what you're saying, but I
Hot.
don't know if I don't know if they are. I think they're just clothes.
No,
But
bro. No.
you know,
No.
there's that, and then
Well, then that's something to hate. The shapeshifter
Yeah.
sucks if it can't turn into clothes.
goddamn fucking.
Or maybe
clothing.
we don't like the shapeshifter's style if it can turn into clothes but keeps picking the same clothes.
Yeah, it's got to update its
Stupid.
wardrobe. The other thing that bummed
Get
me
with the
out
times.
and was not a big strike against the movie, but like bummed me out was the last, like when you see the thing at the end. when
That's
it
the part I'm
breaks-
talking about. When it
when-
turns into alien, it has like a little tiny mouth pop out.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it just fucking comes up out of the ground and then all the dogs start popping out, but it's still just like a giant statue and
Yeah.
just opens its mouth. I'm like, oh man, like that's it.
You're like, everything else was so much cooler.
Right,
Why
everything
did I
else,
get
and then-
this?
The main monster was
Yeah.
meh. I'm like,
Yeah.
But do you think that's what it really looks like, or it was in the midst of transforming? Because everything I
Well,
always
it's-
read about says that it's in the midst of transforming, and you never get to see what it really looks like.
right, but I mean, it's
Mm.
not even what it looks like, just that it was literally
It
just
was
a
whack.
giant like model and statue, just stationary, aside from the things that would pop out of it.
And it
And
had
the-
like a triangle tooth face thing.
yeah,
going.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it was weird.
weird. It was weird, and it bummed me out because it wasn't like there wasn't any like crescendo of a fight between the thing and him really.
Mm.
It like sucked in a fucking dynamite thing and then rose up, and
Whoa.
you're just like, okay, and then he just throws a fucking dynamite stick at it and blows it up, and you're like, well, there goes that. So that bummed me out, but that's pretty much all that I didn't like about it. And those are just like super critical things that I can watch it and not worry about it, except for the visual of the thing at the end. I'm just like, dude, it's not even like moving. Then it has these
It
weird
looked
little like,
sucky.
it did look
yeah.
sucky. I even thought that
I
when I
did-
was a little kid. I'm like, it's
This
it's
got
not scary.
It's got a weird mouth. And you're
Yeah.
right, like big triangle.
It's like a
fucking-
triangle, like
Yeah.
the shape of the head. It's
Everything,
almost
the
like it was
teeth.
starting to turn into a dog or wolf or something. They
Well, if you
stopped.
pause it and slow it down, it is morphing from or to like
Okay.
a man. There's like a face on the other side, and it's like
Okay.
coming out. But it's just
They
like
could have done that a little better.
they definitely could have done that
Yeah.
a little better, and it bummed me out. But that's what I didn't like about it.
I didn't like that it ripped off the alien a little bit because if you actually get into semantics, the thing is superior to alien. It would definitely
Yeah.
probably kill alien just in the sheer like speed it can transform, whereas aliens like
Shape shifted.
doesn't even like
Yeah.
it doesn't even know what it can do really, since the fucking rules seem to change from movie to movie. I don't even know what the alien can actually do or how long it takes to grow, the time frame really. But that's
Bleeds
from another
acid,
podcast.
We do know that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's one. I mean, yeah, that's cool. And then the other thing, I didn't like that the thing kills dogs. 'Cause that makes me sad. And I really like those. I like those dogs, and it just fucked them up. Like it. I mean, well, it
Oh,
turned
yeah.
into one, then just like fucked them all up. And I'm not really into that kind of thing. I didn't think it was needed. I mean, I understand it was like building the pressure for the people to kind of freak out and see that, and like it took something they cared about, but maybe it could have just killed like one dog and then they saved the rest, and then it took all the humans out.
in a perfect world, Oubliette.
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying it was. I don't like dog violence in horror movies.
This is a
I'm okay with
fact.
all the other violence.
Yeah.
Okay with all the other violence. It was just sad. They looked sad. They were even scared, or they're
Oh, for
good
sure they
dog
were scared.
actors. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I think that they really scared the dogs filming this too, and I don't like that either. So
So just
that's my concern here.
true. It's like in the when they first the dogs running through the snow and they're like
Right.
shooting at it. That dog looks like he's really getting
Oh well,
like shot at.
if anyone,
Like I was like,
Probably
that
is.
dog is like legit
Yeah.
scared and
Yeah.
running
there's
and dodging.
one
Oh,
part
yeah.
that when the helicopter flies over it and it stops and like turns around and like, oh
Mhm.
shit. It was
Yeah.
like really freaked out. John Carpenter
Yeah.
talks about that, how it was
Oh,
like,
okay.
it was like a super great actor and like just like an awesome dog, but that part, because the helicopter was super low, like 5 feet above its head, and you could tell it was like, oh fuck. What's
Yeah.
this thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My dogs would not have any of that. They'd be like, no.
Like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, my chihuahua would be losing his ever loving fucking shit.
Yeah. Mine would just be yelling.
Yeah. Oh, both of mine. Yeah,
Yeah.
would just one would be like looking at me like, Mom, why? And the other would just be yelling. Yeah.
It just made me laugh because like when I say yelling, I mean like barking and you're like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Shaking his
Yep.
paw in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for me that the thing in the end was definitely, I think, one of my main things. The dogs as well is always a sad one.
Mhm.
But which like because when I rewatched it, I probably haven't watched it in like, I don't know, it's been a bit. It's been a
Right.
while. And like when I watched it again, I was like, oh damn it, I forgot about the dogs. I was like, I don't know how I forgot about the dogs, but I forgot about the dogs. I was like, man.
Well, that's definitely a part where you're like, oh,
Ooh.
like, oh fuck, because
Yeah.
you know they're freaking out and getting
Yeah,
shot.
they're super scared.
Yeah. John Carpenter and his love for
Yeah.
like squirting. It's always squirting in his movies. It's just like, yeah, it's like some fucking hentai anime tentacle
like
porn
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember being like being scared of like what that monster was going to be when I was a kid. And then they
Right.
showed it and I was like, oh, this is fine.
Right.
It was like when I watched it and he turned into a spider, he was way scarier as a
Right.
clown. And with
100%.
Oh,
the
yeah, that
guys
was
than
such
he
a
was as
bummer.
a spider.
For
And I was
sure.
like, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, I'm not scared of that. I'm not scared of what
Yeah.
he really is. I'm scared of Tim Curry. All right.
Yeah.
Same. That was like the most disappointing part of that movie where you're
Yeah.
like, wait, that's what he is?
Yeah. It was like it was like on the same level. Because when I was a kid, like the thing, like I remember like scared me. It creeped me out.
Yeah.
Well, because every part
and
up
then it
until
ended up
then,
becoming like my favorite. Yeah.
yeah, is fucking creepy and gross.
Yeah.
What else? What else? Anyone else have anything they don't like about this movie?
Mm, no,
Oh,
I don't
Damn
think
shit.
so.
movie.
It's so good. All right. All right. What do we like about it? Scarlett, floor is yours.
Man. Honestly, I think it's more like all the effects like throughout it up until you get to that guy. But like the it's just like, and I don't know, man. I feel like it's like it gets even cooler when like you see, I don't know, man. It's just so damn cool. Like that like the stretched head, the hands, like I can't, it's like it's literally my favorite movie when it comes to like special effects, or if I see people in costume for it, I
Right.
like
Yeah.
shit a brick. Like my brother's friend made like I started laughing because I was like, I didn't see his hands when he made this costume. And I was like, who the hell are you supposed to be? And he just turns around and goes,
Oh,
oh, and he
yeah.
like lifts his
That
hands
is with
up and
his
he
fucking-
made these gross, stretched out, nasty
That's
hands. And I was
awesome.
like, dude, that is the coolest costume ever. And I have to say, diabetes.
Dude.
Wilford Brimley is like the best. He's like my favorite part in the entire movie. He's my
He's
favorite
the
person.
Best actor in that movie.
Yeah,
His
I love Kurt
character,
Russell. Huge fan.
all
but
great. Yeah,
Wilford Brimley.
dude, I have that as one of my things I liked.
Yeah.
I'm like, he is the best.
Yeah.
Like his character brings it all in. Like Kurt
It's
Russell's
so good.
great. And they're all fine and awesome, but because it totally swerves you.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you know he's not the thing for a lot of the movie. And
Right.
then
Then you're like, okay, he just went crazy,
but
right?
then
Like he just went crazy.
it got to him at some point, and then you're like, oh no. And then he sticks his fingers in people's mouths. Bleh. Oh
Yes.
shit. Yeah.
Yes.
What else? What else? Keep going, Scarlett.
I feel like there's a lot of like not super loud moments in like there are super loud, but like it's like such a steady calmness, I guess, up until when
Mhm.
it's not. And
Right.
I think that's
Yeah.
another thing I really enjoy about it. Like I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not boring. You know what I mean? Like it's just tone.
Well, piggybacking off of that, it's a steady kind of ebb and flow of excitement and then calmness and
Mhm.
tension building, and then you get another exciting part, and then it goes back. But nothing ever feels like out of place with it.
No.
No. But I think that that's one of the smartest things, and it was intentional, right? Because like one of my favorite things about it is how well it captures kind of being out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
And you have to think of the kind of personality types and the people who would be in that sort of situation, right?
Yeah.
right.
And they're gonna be people who aren't gonna just lose their shit.
No.
You know, it's just like people like my brother's in a fucking submarine for like 12 months at a time or whatever. Like, you can't have personality types who are gonna lose their shit.
Yeah.
So, like, while they all kind of have these like moments throughout the movie, like a lot of it does kind of seem subdued and kind of foreboding and like oddly calm for everything going on.
Mhm.
Exactly.
But I think that that's what makes it scarier
Right. Well, he
because
does.
like I wouldn't be out in Antarctica. Like I don't know if you guys would, but that like that wouldn't be my shit. So that wouldn't be my reaction. So kind of when you finally do see them lose their shit, you're like, oh God, this is like
This is happening.
This is
this is
bad.
happening. Yeah, this is real bad. If these guys are losing it, like, but like I did love Kurt Russell's like seriousness when he's like going, like, you know, when he's finally like, fuck you guys, like I gotta take care of this shit, everything.
Got
I
the
think
bullshit. Yeah.
yeah, like you said, the practical effects are so good, but also like with him, like how pale they made him, how they were having him like smoke cigarettes in between saying things to make his voice even like or to make his breath even more like he's in the
Right.
freezing
Yep.
cold. Like you watch all these characters kind of either very quickly or very slowly deteriorate, and they did it in such a smart way that like it fucks with you because yeah, like when shit is going down, like it gets your heart rate up because you're like, oh god, the calm one's freaking out, or like, oh fuck, the only one who might have saved them just died, you know,
Yep.
or whatever. So it was, yeah, it's a fun ride.
It definitely is, and it just starts off from the very beginning too.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, some movies are fine with the slow burn and the build up, but it, I prefer the ones that can like start off good out of the gate, but kind of
Mhm.
keep a steady pace through the whole thing. So you're
Right.
not like, so it doesn't lull. That's the one thing about this movie. Like for me, it doesn't ever really lull.
No.
Because even when there's nothing going on, it's like very important what you're watching
Yeah.
no, totally.
and
But I
why
think
it's
that's
going.
kind of like, I think that's how people kind of misuse this, even like the slow burn term,
Right.
because I was looking at some reviews of this, like modern ones, and people are calling this a slow burn. But just like people called The Dark and the Wicked a slow burn, where like
Right.
when I rewatch that, there's something very graphic and very fucked up every 10 minutes. And I'm like,
Right.
that's
You're
not a
like,
slow
that's not
burn.
a slow burn. Yeah.
A slow burn's 3 fucking hours, and 2 of those are like dramatic bullshit that actually didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or just something that literally is just like a normal movie and that and like someone does something super graphic and you're like, ah.
Well, I mean, the whole dog kennel thing is like 20 minutes
Yeah.
into the thing. It starts
Yeah,
off with a
exactly.
fucking
It's super quick.
helicopter shooting at a dog. Some
Yeah.
guy gets shot in the head. Like,
Totally.
like
Yeah.
holy
It just
fuck.
it just
You're like,
had
"Whoa."
good character
Yeah.
development and good content mixed in with other things happening. It wasn't just a shock movie, you know?
Right.
And I think that a lot of people now, when they rewatch some of the old stuff, they start using those terms or saying that it's slow because they just want like crazy shit in front of their face the whole time and they don't really care about the actual content.
Right.
And this is one of the greats that like even though the practical effects are sometimes over the top and super cheesy, like it's a serious movie and it's scary. Like it's a
Yeah.
scary movie.
Right. And I like that it's not necessarily a remake of the original movie in what I think 58 or 56,
Mhm.
but it goes off more of the novel, the what was it, Who Goes There? So
Mhm.
it pulls more from that. But he purposely did put some things that are in the original movie in it as like a nod to it. And that's I like when John Carpenter does stuff like that. I think it's smart. I think he's a good director because he balances out like a good little comedic relief part in an otherwise serious movie. Like when Norris has the heart attack and they put him up in the thing and they hit him with the paddles and he does his thing and the head falls off and sprouts legs and they're watching it go by and he's like, you gotta be fucking kidding,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like that's hilarious. That got such a
Yeah.
pop at the Joe Bob's Jamboree when that part came up because like it was so quiet, and then everyone's waiting for it when it does. I was
Everybody's
like,
going, I'm gonna say it.
yeah,
Uh-huh. It's
it was fucking
time.
hilarious. Yeah, so I love that. Like his use of levity, especially in this film, is fucking great. Even with McCready, like all the
Yeah.
little like
Yeah.
snarky things he
Keeps
does.
calling them sweet. What is he keeps calling him Swedish, right? That's what it is. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're Norwegian.
Yeah. And we can't, dude, Adrian Barbeau's the fucking computer.
That-
The voice of the
that's-
computer.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Well,
Uh-huh.
I think we might have talked about in one of the other podcasts, but I never realized that this is part of a trilogy with Mouth of Madness.
Right. And Prince of Darkness. Yeah.
I recently, I like just figured that out as I was like watching it, and then I was like, because I went to go look up, because I noticed that there was the other one that came out, and I was like, oh yes, that's right, I didn't watch that, and then like I
Uh-huh.
ended up looking, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize it went with those. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. He did a little thing. It was
Fun.
a little apocalyptic movie trilogy.
yeah,
Yeah. I like
I didn't. We
Okay.
did the new one, didn't we?
The Thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I liked the new
did
one.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was an adequate, like for nowadays, it was an adequate prequel because it was
For nowadays, it was
yeah.
really good.
right.
Okay, I'll try. I'll actually
Yeah.
watch it then,
No,
because it was one of
it's-
those things. I was like, I don't want to ruin it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
I don't want to make it mad.
It's totally worth watching it.
Yeah.
Crazy enough, I had never seen the original, and my husband and I went to see that one in the theater, and he found out, and he enjoyed it, but he found out I hadn't seen the original. He's like, "What the fuck? Like, you have to see the original," because he loves it. And so then that night after we watched that one, we
Prequel,
watched
yeah.
the original, I think.
But
But
it's
good.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
It's basically like Halloween 2018. Like you're getting the same movie, like same vibe and everything. It's in that vein, but it's the
Okay.
prequel, so it's different shit's happening, but it feels like, at least in my opinion, like it feels like a prequel to The Thing.
Yeah, it kicks the shit out of Prometheus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say that.
That's good.
Like if I gave Prometheus like a 1, I would give the Thing prequel like an 8.
Oh, okay. Jeez. All right.
I'm not saying an 8 out of all
No,
movies
I get it,
everywhere,
though.
but like
Yeah.
in comparison of how much better it is, like they did a good job of not trying to reinvent the wheel and do
Okay.
some stupid shit that everyone was going to be like, everyone who loved it would be like, what? Whereas many of them now, when they do it, they decide to like ostracize the original fans and push them away,
Yeah.
which I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then the people who do love it go to watch the originals and they don't like the originals because they love something that's nothing like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
We're talking about the
and
Invisible
we keep
Man.
seeing it. Yes, we keep seeing it happen, people. We don't know why. Just change the name of the movie.
Yeah. But then why no one would go to see it? We all
Yeah.
know the trick. Fucking jerks.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you should watch. Point being, you should watch.
Yeah.
It's fun.
All right.
It's
I'll
fun.
check it out.
I seem to remember it not being that long either. I feel like it was like an hour and a half or maybe.
yeah,
Nice.
it's at least
I could be wrong, but
around
it felt
as
like it
long as
moved.
this one, maybe a little bit shorter.
Okay.
But this one, for being almost 2 hours long, doesn't feel like 2 hours.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But then that's also probably because there's
It's
like,
an hour 40, the
Right.
new one.
you know,
Yeah.
there's
Oh, okay.
Good.
starts off with
Good
something,
length.
chills out a little bit, something else comes up, and it's like
Yeah.
you get a steady feed of excitement throughout the whole thing, so you're not just waiting for something else to happen. So
Yeah.
yeah. The use of small scares is also a great tool he used, especially the one where, like, the first time the lights go out, not at the end when all the lights go out in the camp or whatever. It's just like in the one little area, and he's walking around with a candle, and then you see that fucking dark
Mhm.
shadow walk right past him. He's like, oh,
Real-
windows or whoever. You're like, oh shit. Like, stuff like that I thought was fucking genius for where and when he used it. The blood scene is probably one of my favorite scenes ever. Because it's like the running gag. Is this gonna be it? Nope. Is this one gonna be it?
Yeah.
Nope. This one has to be it. Nope. And then he
And then
fucking
you're like,
gets it. And then
it's funny because yeah.
good.
I was gonna say it's funny because when I was rewatching it, I was sitting there with Louis and like my dog, and I'm like, "All right, buddy." I was like, "Yeah, watch this." And then all of a sudden it happened. I was like, "Damn it!" It like hecka got me, and like I jumped, and I was like, "I've seen this movie how many times?" And I swear it gets me every time because it's just the moment that I'm like not quite
Yeah,
expecting
the
it. It's like,
moment
oh
where he kind of relax. It's like,
yeah,
no, and then everything shits the bed.
yeah,
And then everyone's like freaking the fuck out.
yeah.
And again, they set some shit on fire.
Yeah.
That's how
A lot of
that
fire in the movie.
how that entire encampment wasn't burned down to the ground.
Well,
Like,
it's
I
because it's
know
on
that,
ice. Duh.
yeah. But I mean, it's just like, goddamn, they're lighting every fucking room on fire at some point.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
like,
just like, all right, here we go. Set
right.
it on fire.
Yeah,
Throw it with the others.
right. Which, I mean, I get why, but yeah, I mean, I just uh little stuff like that was fucking great. One of the most important things to me is you believed, at least I did, I believed all the characters' reactions
Oh yeah.
in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Like,
They're very
everything
good.
seemed genuine. Even fucking what's his name? The Palmer, like the hippie guy.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Like, everything he was doing, I'm like, yeah, I believe that's a actual human being in this situation. So I fucking love
It's like
that part.
Oubliette said. Like it's like one of those things when you get when it's like they picked the perfect, whether they picked the perfect actors or like their personalities were just spot on with like
Right.
the type of people they were supposed to be in that situation. And
Absolutely.
it's super, it's yeah, as much as it's like hella sci-fi, it's also like you're like, yeah, this feels real. Like this is tight. You know.
It does. Everyone fucking
Yeah.
Still waiting for monsters to sprout out from the ground.
yeah.
No, the toned down colors, like everything about it aesthetically, like it's just creepy. Whereas during that time, a lot of the other stuff that was coming out was starting to get like showy and brighter.
Mhm.
Like I like that this like leaned into kind of the dread and dreariness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you don't I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily think about it when I was young seeing it the first time, when I was little. You just think, "Oh, okay, they're in the ice, like whatever." But the older you get and the more times I've watched it, you're like, "Oh, okay." Like,
When
you
you
start
realize
to
where they actually are.
right. And you
Mhm.
notice the use of lighting and the shadows and the color scheme and just the use of all the matte paintings. Because when you're little, you don't know what the fuck. You're like, you think it's all movie magic, but like, so much matte, more movies need to use the matte paintings for stuff because it looks so much better
Big
than
time.
the CGI stuff. It just does.
Yeah.
So I really love that about this movie. I don't know. I mean, I just think everything about the movie you believe. It's all believable. And the actors
agree.
are a big part of that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Fucking. And the effects. We all love the effects.
Yeah, amazing.
Mhm.
Even the giant chest bursting scene with the teeth, with like the bear trap. It's
It's
so
so cool.
It's
And
so
that's like
cool.
another thing that like it's like
is.
another scare, right?
Yeah.
Like another little, you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, it looks so dumb, but it looks
It
so
looks,
cool at the same time.
it's so bad, but it's so good. It's funny
Mhm.
because as I was watching it, like I realized I know my husband hasn't seen it. And I was like, yeah, I haven't watched this one with him. And then like that scene happened, and I was like, this will be the moment that he'll go, that looks stupid. But he'll still be sitting there watching it, like excited for what's gonna happen next.
As he
Yeah.
should. Yeah, I love that part. How much would that suck though? To be fucking paddling someone's
Bad.
fucking chest and then be like,
Yeah.
clear. And just
My arms.
yeah. The worst. Come up with two little nubs. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. Little nubbins.
Nubbin lovin'.
Oh shit. What else? What else do we love about this movie?
I like
You just
the
wanna spread the love, E. What's going on with you?
Hey, well, you know, I just want to.
he's all. This is why we haven't done this movie yet.
Yeah.
And show people that I care about something this much.
I know it's
Fucking-
moving. So weird.
Just wait till my score.
I
1.75.
was gonna say, you just talk about how much you love it and just fucking give it the lowest score. Let me calm down.
All
Dog
because of that
is
fucking
Yeah.
monster. Yeah. I mean, it's tough with movies like this because we obviously all love it. And it's like one of those movies for me, it's like probably maybe not the most, but one of them could be the most like well-rounded, solid sci-fi horror movie. Like there's nothing really wrong with it. I don't know if it's perfect because there's little stuff like the monster and stuff at the end that chat my ass, but aside from that, like there's nothing really wrong with it. So I mean, I don't know. It's almost
Those ones-
perfect.
Well, it's funny because when you messaged me and said it, I was like, oh hell yeah. Then I'm like, for once,
Instantly.
I get a movie that I'm not gonna like be like, God damn it, I have to watch that.
Yeah.
Or I watch it and I'm like, damn it, I watched this.
Wait till we watch Long Legs 2.
No, no,
Mm-mm.
not gonna watch it.
Nope.
Won't do it.
I mean, I don't know.
just let's not talk about it.
I just have
We
to bring
talk
that
about
up
it too much. I know. I immediately get like a forward headache.
The
right
vein
here.
in your forehead just starts pulsating. You're like, oh
No, it's like I get a pain. Like I can't.
I want to see how many long legs will be dressed up for Halloween.
God.
How many people will be long legs?
Oh,
It's probably all going to
God.
be art now because obviously it's been
Yeah.
overshadowed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say, like I told my coworker that was sitting behind me, like 4 rows when I watched it, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I'm gonna be that for Halloween." I was like, "If you do, like, you just." You know that like I'm just gonna be laughing at you all day. And he's like, yeah, he's like, well, that's the point. I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's that
Like, but you're
Simpson-
gonna look like a creepy old
Oh.
man at a dealership and it's
Yeah.
gonna be weird.
It's the Homer
I don't think-
Simpson meme where he's in the bar. Just art,
Exactly.
art everywhere.
It's just gonna
You
be
should- You should
art and
dress
long
like
legs.
him. You should dress like him, like all blinged out and all like a pervy sugar daddy and be daddy long legs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Or you could dress half black phone grabber and half long legs, and you could really be Daddy Hawk long legs. That's what I would do. But no, you could do a Daddy long legs. That would be funny.
That's actually one costume I'm surprised I did not see at Monster Palooza or one cosplay. I only saw like 2 arts.
Probably because someone would get their ass beat because everyone's fucking pissed about that movie.
It's true. It's true. Like I feel like the real people would hate it, but there was like a decent amount of long leg stuff, but not not cosplayers.
Like, why would you
to
even
buy? Why would you
buy
even
anything
buy
like
that?
that?
That's so
I don't
fucking
know.
like what are you buying? Little
I like
fucking
walked by.
metal spheres or dolls? Fuck,
Yeah, it was
fuck
like
you, long
some like
legs.
stupid keychain with his face on it, and I like was like, this is dumb as shit.
He just picked it up and threw it across the
Oh, I
fucking
guess I forgot my
the
lens.
hall. You're like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah,
Tip
yeah.
their table over. They're like, what the hell, dude? Like, fuck
Hidden
you.
in your basement with your mother.
Yeah.
You never noticed. Fucking
Washed up
dumbass
rock
movie.
star.
What did you guys think
Love
about the
Raven.
ending? The ambiguous ending. There's so many fan theories and none of them are right. Because John Carpenter was just like, we didn't really know what the fuck we were gonna do. So we just left. I just left it. And everyone keeps, he's drinking, he gave him gasoline to drink. Childs is the thing. And it's like, dude, there's 1,000 fucking commentary tracks in interviews where John Carpenter's just like, no, man, like we didn't know. Like originally, he was thinking of making Kurt Russell the Thing, but then he was like, no one's gonna want that because he's like the hero.
It would have been
So,
tight.
right. So he's just like, yeah, we just kind of just left it. You know, we'll find out. We'll wait and see what happens. But did you guys like the ending, the ambiguity?
I did.
I like that stuff for this kind of movie. Totally, you don't want it to just, you don't want to know and be done. Oh no, that's as I'm saying that, I'm thinking about that fucking show we're watching.
Oh,
that's giving me a headache too. So I thought that was the end. I didn't realize there's 3 more episodes, and apparently,
wait, what? There's 3 more episodes?
Yeah, there's 8, 9, and 10. We watched 7, and apparently 10 has a big giant twist leading into season 2.
Okay. All right. Well,
yeah,
you know what?
Fucking get ready for it. Fucking Ryan Murphy,
that
you
makes me,
dickbag.
That makes me a little more happy because I
feel
was
better,
watching it and I was like, I was talking to Tom. He's another country, and I'm like, you're lucky you didn't watch this show because he was like, he started watching it with me, and then it got too scary and religious for him. So he's like, no, I don't want to watch this anymore. And I
thought you were gonna say sexy time, like sexy time.
It got too sexy time for him.
It got too sexy time.
Well, it's so funny.
I can't control my boner. No,
like it's so funny. We're totally getting off topic, but this fucking show, like, I know my husband won't like it, so it's a show I watch after he goes to bed.
Yeah,
but like, I shit you not. Every time he like comes out late to get a drink of water or something, he walks in and it's like the priest masturbate, or like, it's just something that shouldn't be on the TV. And he just looks at me and like goes back to the bedroom. And I'm like, look, do you need to watch the show? Cause it's literally not weird religious fucking. It's not. And that's not like something I'm real into. But
it's funny you say that because real quick side note on that one. I had my phone up like on a perch at work, like it's like where it charges sitting up, and the screen was open, and it was after I think you'd like messaged or something, but the picture of Marky Mark was there shirtless, and all it was though was like the chin and shirt down on there, and like some text messages, and my coworker walks by and like did like a total double take, and I was like, oh, let me explain this really quick, and I was like, I swear, because they like looked like that's not Tom type of thing, and I'm like, oh my god.
We're just talking about hate crimes.
I'm like, first of all, if you read anything, shit. If you saw that picture, let me explain. It's not anybody I actually know. It's Marky Mark. And they're just like, okay, sure, Scarlett. I was like, shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yes, that show is a trip, and now I will wait for the other 3.
What
and
the
that's
fuck?
good.
Yeah. No, because I like did the whole deep dive, like grotesquerie, like finale.
I probably should have done that.
No finale has happened. And apparently episodes 8, 9, and 10 really pump up the volume and add extra twists. So the season 2 is already approved. And I'm like, fuck.
So is it one of those deals with like American Horror Story where there's here's some story and then here's some dude like eating a dick?
No, because it's not and it doesn't change directors. It's just like it's the same person.
It ends up throwing, like, you're on this cool roller coaster for a bit, and then you're like, yeah, this is fun, and then you're just like, what the shit, and it just like takes you into 8 quadruple freaking spins and drops you into a fucking log ride. Like, that's
really like I love serial killer shit, and it was a lot like 7 mixed with like something even darker, and I was like, okay, it's not moving super fast, but I like where it's going. Like, I was also apprehensive because Travis Kelce's in it. I'm like, he probably can't act, but he could totally act, and his character was great. Like, all the characters are really great for what they are. And by no means is this like show a masterpiece, but it is much better than American Horror Story. But this last episode is like akin to, what was that show? I never watched it, like Lost or whatever, where they're just nothing ever happened. Like, it's a twist like that you're like, wait, what? Because you're like it's a mystery, so you're like putting pieces together, and you're like, yeah, I got this. We're getting there. This is getting crazy. It's like almost, it's gonna be the apocalypse. Like, shit is going down, and then you're like, wait, like I was rewinding it. Like, did I not pay attention? Did I miss something?
Yeah.
See, I can't with shows like that anymore. like I was never the biggest Lost fan,
It makes me tired.
but
I
like
never
liked
watched
Lost.
Lost.
I like
Now that I
it.
know the ending, I don't know that I can watch it.
yeah, it was just
That's true.
one of those things.
Are you
where you're
watching
like,
from the makers of
No.
Lost?
I need to watch that. You're the one that just recently told me about that. I need to watch it.
Yeah, I can't get into any of that.
I mean,
stuff.
I just want to know if it's going somewhere. I'm invested because I'm like
Right,
3
right.
seasons in,
Well, yeah,
but it doesn't even end on cliffhangers. It's like nothing's going anywhere. It's just so confusing.
yeah, like that's
And I'm
my
not going to stop watching it because I want to know.
right. Well, that's my problem. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like you want to stretch some stuff out to get another
Yeah.
season, or I get it, but it gets to a
This-
point where you're just like, dude.
This doesn't feel like that though. This feels like it's building like some crazy fucking complicated like world of which you've only seen a part of. Like it's
Kind of like Castle Rock. Did you guys
like
ever watch?
existential. I was sad they got rid of that. I liked
Me
Castle
too.
Rock, actually.
I
a
really
lot.
liked that show.
I like it better than
Oh.
most things that get more seasons.
Right.
So, like usual, everything it seems like I like that comes out gets maybe 2 seasons and then gets shit on. And then I get stuck
True.
watching these other things for 5 seasons that go nowhere.
Get sucked in.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
But yeah, grotesquerie. Well, it's funny because before the episode last night, I had been texting Mike, Terry, and E like, "Have you guys been watching this? Because like it's cool and it's like there's some gore, like there's some like fucked up shit going on. You guys should probably like this." And then last night, I was like, "I don't know if you guys will like it, but you should definitely watch it."
I had to tell my brother the same thing. I was like, just so you know, I was like, 'cause they thought it was the last one. Now I'm going to tell him, like, so it's not the last one. So now you actually, I think you should watch it and
Yeah.
maybe just, yeah. That
It's
last
on
I
one,
would-
yeah.
I was real mad when I thought that was the finale. Like I already stayed up way past my bedtime and then I stayed up another hour before I even went down the rabbit hole to find out it wasn't the finale. I stayed up for an hour just sitting there on the couch like, why
Stewing
would
in
they
your
do
thoughts.
Why did they do this to me?
like that's not the way out. Like what
Yeah.
the fuck? So
Yeah.
Total blue balled.
and also then I turned it back on and was rewinding things, being like, did I hear this right? Did I see this right? Because I feel like I'm missing something big here. But no,
It's all
it's
a
not
sick
finished.
joke.
It's true.
Those
So we
sons of
got
bitches.
3 more, and like I said, they told everyone to buckle up. So who knows
Buckle
what
up,
that and the
Buttercup.
biggest twist they said is the last episode. So I can't
What the hell?
you what that
What are they
is.
going to do?
I'm just so excited about it. I'm so happy. I'm happy and excited. I can't wait for it. It's
See,
gonna be great.
They should watch The Thing and take. a
Yeah.
hint
And then
and
I
be
was just
Yeah,
like,
they
about to
should.
say,
Yeah, they should.
you know what
take
is
some
great?
hints from that.
yeah. this is what
Is
you
the
should
thing.
do.
Sorry, I just had to talk about my trauma, guys.
That's okay. It happened. I've been thinking about it.
And because
Like,
I
what
shared
I
it a little bit with Scar last night.
Yeah.
I saw
Like-
your post on Facebook and was like, have I seen this? I like
Yes.
freaking turned into keyboard cat real quick,
Yeah.
like typing.
I know you were like, I was about to text you.
Yeah.
And I was like, good. I'm glad that she feels as passionately about this
Yeah.
as I do because I don't.
Absolutely.
I was like, how far are you? You were like, current. And I was like, okay, that's at first I was like, why are you? Someone else put like another friend was like, I'm watching it and I'm so confused. And I wasn't. So when I wrote that, I was at the beginning of the 7th episode. Like the shit hadn't even totally gone
Oh.
down. And one of my friends is like, yeah. And I'm so confused. And I'm like, why the fuck are you confused? I just got mad about or not mad, but like hyped up about a certain thing at the beginning of the episode. She's like, what do you mean? You're not confused? And then it happened as I read that. And I was like, oh, I just finished the episode. I'm confused too. Oh my God. I understand.
I mean, it sounds like a good analogy for just the world right now. They're like, what?
Yeah.
What the
And I
fuck is
don't think
going
I'm
on?
a dumb person. I get,
No.
a lot of things. And I definitely had to really think about this one
Dude, that's another thing that
and stay up past my fucking bedtime.
that I hate
That always makes me
about
mad.
Hate that.
how movies are made now, because they want to get so deep, like so deep. Like
Mhm.
we'll talk about it again.
I
Long
like how you're
Legs.
like, yeah, girl. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I hear you.
It's
But, like,
true, man.
I know.
Long Legs' whole backstory that no one would have ever known.
We didn't need it.
But like nobody knows. Oh, he's a fucking washed up glam rocker who.
Not only that, they barely even explained it.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
true.
Like you don't.
I guess that's true.
Nobody knew until the director was like, or the writer was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
you mean
well,
why he was what he
yeah."
was?
You're like,
I thought you meant like the montage where it shows
Oh, yeah,
how
no,
he
no.
like got with the mom, and I'm like, that didn't even make sense. I was
Yeah,
like, they just
no.
rushed this fucking explanation
But
Yeah.
just
and
like
threw in like 10 horror movies in one in
Right.
5 minutes.
you just want to. Oh,
The
I'm gonna
fuck?
hold on to this thing and not really mention it, and it might help explain something, but I'm not gonna put it in there because I want to be mysterious or for whatever fucking reason, or they just want to put so much shit and bury like
It would have
so
made
many
more
things.
sense if they said he was like a pedophile who escaped from prison. Then
Right.
he's
It would have
an
made a
ex-glam
lot
rocker.
of sense.
Because I'm sorry, most glam rockers from that time like are pretty hot. Even
Right.
ones with bad plastic surgery, like better looking than long legs.
Right.
Just
This is
saying.
Right.
And like other than like what, like the New York Dolls and a couple other bands, none of them did the powder puff white makeup.
Yeah.
That's
Not
true.
really.
Like he does straight up like
Clown
Marie
face.
Antoinette,
Yeah.
like white makeup,
Yeah.
like,
it was-
like-
powder puff. And that's not like the
Like
glam
Adam
rock.
Ant.
Definitely some of the dudes did like porcelain stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but Adam Ant did like new wave symmetrical, like crazy
Yeah.
colors on
it
top
would
of
have
it. Like,
been. It would have
Long
been
legs
cooler.
just looks like he has no blood in his body.
like he just did all
Maybe he
big ol'
doesn't.
eyes. Like
Yeah.
It was just
But-
a bummer.
But yeah, like
Big fucking
these
bummer.
new directors and writers want to just bury shit on top of shit on top of shit. So it's like, even if you have to think a little bit about something, you have to think too much about it. Like
Yeah.
to get back to the thing, like it is what it is. Like the ending is like a cliffhanger you don't know, but it's kind of self-explanatory, and they even explain it throughout the movie,
yeah.
and it's still entertaining. And it's like not many people seem to know how to do that and tell a good story, because that's one of the best things. I mean, of course, it had source material from the short story, but
Right.
you still got to elaborate and turn that into a fucking hour and a half movie, plus have
True.
it engaging and have good
True.
directing and, do everything else to make it entertaining. And it's like, they just don't do that anymore. And it's like, I get it. John Carpenter. There's no one else like him. Same with Roger Corman and fucking Wes Craven, like all the George Romero. We get it. I get it. But God damn, there's so much material out there that you can fake it. Like, I'd rather watch someone just try to be something else, or try to be someone else and be like, I'm going to make a movie like this and just make it good. Like, everyone has influences, bands and all that shit. If your influences is that are these certain people or these certain movies, and you make a good version of that to the best of your ability, then that's great. Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel and make something. Oh, I want to make something new, something no one's ever done before. It's like, well,
You're
no one
supposed to do it
wants
in your
that.
long legs voice.
Yeah. Ooh.
I want to make something
Make something
new.
I've got my pants on.
I got my long legs.
Yeah.
Fucking
You're a
weird.
pretty little girl.
It sucks because all these great directors are getting old and they're gonna die soon. Some of them have already died, and you're like, what do we have left? Like, I
Yeah.
mean, not taking anything away from Damien Leone, like, good for his success or whatever, but
Yeah.
there's not a lot of
Dude,
story.
there is room in the world for cheap movies
There absolutely,
that are disgusting. You know.
absolutely. And
Oh, weird note.
But I don't
just
want
bought
that to be the-
tickets.
then right,
Yep.
you don't want it to be the norm. Like this.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want that to
right.
be my number one thing I'm waiting for the year.
No, that's like
Right.
one
you know.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird thing in my town, we have one of the oldest churches in the United States, but it
Ooh.
doesn't like they do all kinds of insane events there, like non-church related. But I just bought tickets to see John Waters there,
Nice.
Stick.
only because I mean I love John Waters, but also I don't think I'd ever have an opportunity to see John Waters for 3 hours in a church that's selling booze.
Probably.
Yeah, that's
not.
rad. That's way
Yeah.
cooler than watching him in the hot sun and
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that doesn't sound great. Sorry.
The Mosswood Meltdown, not to be confused with The Burger Boogaloo.
Yeah, sure. 'Cause that thing
Yeah.
never existed.
I know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Mandela
Yeah, we
effect.
just
What?
changed it real
Burger
quick.
what?
Yeah.
Huh?
Whoopsies.
What?
Huh?
Why did
What?
they change that? Is it it's
Oh,
a
it's
bad
because
word.
the burger thing's done. Like they got canceled hard.
Yeah.
Burger
Oh, that's
Records.
right.
Yeah.
I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. So then now that's when they changed it to that. My friend does like the stage for it most years and stuff, so I get to go for free because most of the time I help with the stage. But I'm like, yeah, this is cool. This year though, I actually got to meet him, which was cool.
Right.
But I like did the awkward thing where I like reached my hand out to shake his hand, and he looked at me like, "I'm not going to shake
touching
your
you?
hand." Yeah,
Yeah,
and I was like,
Uh,
I mean,
I'm an old school handshaker, and I catch that
yeah,
fucking gets me
me
all
too.
the time.
And I was like, okay, I'm just going to stand here and be like, "You're cool. Thanks for doing what you do. Bye."
That's better than grabbing the tip of your fingers and doing that,
Ew.
like kind of touch the nails and then like
Yeah.
limp and then drop it. When people do that, I just want to fucking backhand them. I'm like, just
Yeah.
say you don't shake hands. Just
Yeah.
use your words and be like, I
Yeah.
don't like to shake hands. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm a dick, fine, but don't do
Yeah.
that.
Did-
So like, I'm gonna grab your fingertip. It's fucking
That's
creepy,
stupid.
and I hate it.
I'm glad that didn't happen.
At least
Yeah.
fist
See,
bump.
so you made it out okay.
Fist bump. You don't have to shake hands. Whatever. Just give
Yeah.
a fist bump, like
Or
something.
elbow bump.
Whatever.
I mean, I think Howie Mandel would give a fist bump or an elbow bump.
Right.
You know, he's, like,
Noozle.
crazy.
Just give me a little noozle. I'll take
Little
that.
bit.
Eskimo kisses.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't. You're not allowed to say Eskimo. Indigenous. I didn't know about this, but Eskimo is considered a fucking
only
a
to
hard
some.
Oh.
type of word.
Only to some.
It's-
It's just
it's like when
really?
Tom-
Okay.
yeah. It's
Like
just
Okay.
gypsy.
Indian.
I was
or-
going to say it's like
Okay.
gypsy, yeah, because Tom
Yeah.
got every time I say I got gypped, he's like, "You're not supposed to say that," and it's because he's like, "Yeah, I'm like where he's from England, and he's
Romani
like,
or whatever.
yeah, he's like, "You're not supposed to actually
Oh.
say that," and I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
Jip, 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 jip.
Yeah.
I
No.
didn't realize. I didn't realize that Gyp was that until a few years ago, and I said,
Yeah.
someone's like,
I didn't know.
that's short for gypsy.
Well, that's because
That's how you say you got gypped, and I'm like, okay, but that's because gypsies rob people, right?
yes,
And, I
and
got
they
in trouble.
still
Yeah.
do. Like it's
I
still.
didn't
a
say the other
thing.
one.
Oh, trust me, I worked at a resort in Wisconsin with all Eastern European J students
Yeah.
that would, come out there and work just for, a few months. And we're in this restaurant. I'm working with my girls. And all of a sudden, the nicest one out of all the Eastern Europeans that I never saw be mean to anyone, is looking out the window because there was like panoramic windows in the restaurant. And she spits on the ground. And I'm like, what did you just do? And she's like, Courtney, there's gypsies out there. And I was like, we don't have that in the US. Like, no. I was like, what? Is there just I thought maybe there's an Airstream or
Right.
I was like, is there a caravan out there? And she's like, yeah, but it's a European caravan. And I was like, they didn't drive that shit all the way to Wisconsin from here. And she's like, no, they moved here from Europe and they bought this caravan here and they're gypsies. And I was like, don't worry about it. It was like, Anne, why are you so mad? And then she just started saying all these words in her native language and getting very angry. And I was like, okay, whatever. So literally fast. And she's like, they're going to use everything for free. They're going to sneak in. Like, this is not good. If the gypsies come, it ruins my country. And this whole thing. And I'm like, is this real? So maybe 40 minutes later, I see her fucking run to the doors of the restaurant with all of these menus in her hand. And it's like a resort with it's a water park resort. And the menus are laminated because people come in wet all the time. And they're
Right.
those giant chain menus. They're
Yes.
like
Denny's.
a foot and a half. Yeah. Long. And she has 3 in her hand
Legs.
and she runs to the door and she starts beating this man with the menus and
Oh my
cussing
God.
at his kids and screaming. And it's a whole thing. And then he's screaming at her and then they're both spitting at each other.
Whoa.
And it's this fucking thing. And she didn't get fired, but we had this whole talk with her and she they were screaming their family names at each other. And there was they knew who their whole family of gypsies. It was a whole fucking thing. And but yeah, it's crazy because as much as in the US, they're don't say that, it's not right. And the Romani people and they're great and all this. After knowing a lot of people from Eastern Europe, they had some stories.
Mhm.
And I also had a story from one of my friends in Austin who woke up to a twin midget gypsies, one sucking his dick and the other stealing all his shit.
What?
which is the craziest story ever. But he's like not one to lie or not very like sexual, and he's like super embarrassed about it. But yeah, and he said they smelled like cabbage.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a thing. I mean, dude,
and
Christian-
he has never gone back to Europe since. He was like, that was it.
Tom's in Eastern Europe right now.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my god, I can't wait to
you
tell
should
him.
be like-
He's gonna be calling me soon after this, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Let me tell you what you need to watch out." for."
Watch out.
but,
Okay.
but like what we're talking
Spell
about, there's
cabbage,
people
run.
there are people, you know, who play gypsy jazz who are Romani. There's people in like the gypsy punk movement who are Romani, and they kind of embrace the name and are like, fuck you, yeah, it's fine.
Right.
And then there are these like certain people that, you know, their great mother was neighbors with a Romani woman, and they're just like, you can't say that, and they hate it if you say that. But when we were in Germany and I ordered DoorDash one night, I found the Schnitzel house, and like a bunch of their food was like gypsy schnitzel, gypsy noodles, gypsy whatever. And like,
Yeah.
it was a style of food. So it's weird. I don't know. I think just people get mad about everything. And I've been called like a lot of bad things. And I'm just kind of like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some things I will never say and I wouldn't want to. And I'm not a hateful person, but like, I also think that people need to like let it roll off their back a little bit.
Well, I mean,
like,
for every one group that's like, don't say that, there's another group of the same ilk that's like, whatever, no, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like that's what, yeah. You're like,
the US has romanticized it. That's why I think it's weird that people get mad about Americans saying it, because they think of like Stevie Nicks or like crystal balls or like beautiful gold jewelry and like,
well,
you know, like
sometimes
I think of the
printed
gypsies
bandanas.
in dinner.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's
true
edible.
too. I mean, there is definitely stuff, but I mean,
Yeah.
like kind of normal people and culture, like they're
Right.
thinking
Well, I
of
mean,
Stevie
it's
Nicks and like witchy
like a
stuff
style
and
of
crystal balls and like
clothing and stuff. Yeah.
like the girls want to emulate it. So I'm like, you're getting mad. And like most of these people are like kind of
Like
idolizing it.
Esmeralda.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
one last thing about that and we'll get off. We'll get back
Yeah,
to the thing. But like,
Yes, the movie.
yeah, if you're not from really like, I mean, I've had run-ins with when I had the shop, gypsies out here, like a group that were
Mhm.
gypsies. That's what they were. And they would come in and like steal shit, and I had to caught them, be like, get the fuck out of here. And, you know, like it's a thing. But growing up on the like East Coast, New York City, Pennsylvania, anything where there's a lot of Eastern European immigrants,
Yeah.
like from my grandma, like, and I'm part Hungarian, so like I would get called a gypsy at times, you know, because it's all around that area part. But anyway, I mean, yeah, there'd be stories where it's like, oh yeah, when the gypsies would come to town, people would be like, lock your shit up. It was a thing. It's a thing. And for people that never experienced that, they're like, oh my God, that's terrible. Like, don't say this word or whatever. But you're like, dude, I go back home and there's still people that call themselves gypsies, like Romanian people that are like, you were gypsies. And you're like, God, don't call yourself that out in fucking, you know, the Bay Area.
Yeah. It's funny because as you just said that, for whatever reason, it made me laugh because I just remembered Borat when he's like, come here, gypsy, give me your tears.
Oh no, it's funny. Like Christian's, my husband's mom, like if you're at a flea market or anything, she'll call the stands like gypsy junk.
Right.
And it's so funny because she acts super kind of like, ugh, like blah blah. But like her family is Prussian. And I'm pretty sure like I keep trying to get them all to do genealogy tests. I'm like, I think you guys don't really know
let me tell you
what your heritage is.
What you actually are.
Yeah.
But she's like 92 or 93 now, so I probably don't have much time to get that in. But I don't know. She may have made.
Yeah, who knows?
But I don't know. I think she's probably She probably is a gypsy. She's magical. I think she'll live forever.
There's a strong possibility.
But I also don't want to get a gypsy curse put on me, so I don't want to make her take a
Yeah.
DNA test.
Right.
It's true.
You don't want any of that.
No.
Back to the
But
thing.
she totally is.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyone have anything else awesome or negative to say about the thing?
No.
Kurt Russell's hair looks really nice.
Oh, so
So
luxurious.
does his
I
beard.
one
He had a
time
good beard.
in my
Love
life
him.
had Kurt Russell hair.
Yeah.
I didn't actually notice it until my coworker came in and we both looked at each other and I just went, "Oh, your hair kind of looks like Kurt Russell from the thing." And he was just looks at me and he goes, "I think we have the same hair." And I just went, "Oh shit." It's like I have a weird mullet that's
He's like,
somehow
"Sweet."
luxurious.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
very
it was sick.
luxurious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's
Yeah,
a day to remember.
the music is something that
Oh.
actually is another thing that I just
Right.
That's true.
And that's so typical with John Carpenter and his scores. Like,
right.
which is another thing fucking movies don't do.
No.
Like everything he did like if you listen to the commentary he gives, he's always kind of like making fun, like, oh, this is another cheesy like old monster movie gag we did. But all that shit works.
It was perfect.
And the score like builds the tension. It goes along with the actions of the scene and the emotions. And you just don't get that type of stuff anymore. And it drives me nuts because it's always just like, like we've talked about it before on here, Ulia, where it's just like, oh, I'm going to hit one fucking piano key for the whole scene. And it's just like, ding, ding, ding. It's like, that's not like, put a score to it.
Yeah.
It's something that makes sense because
100%.
it makes the movie better. And John Carpenter
Absolutely.
does that so well, especially in this. And it's nothing, it's all weird little synthy music, but it adds to the ambiance and the overall feel of the movie. And people just don't do that anymore. It drives me mad. But yeah, I agree with you. I was something I forgot to mention, but
it's one of those things. That's one thing that always sticks out with me with movies is either if it's got a good soundtrack or if it is a good score in general. But
right. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Since music costs money and no one wants to pay anybody anything anymore, so they don't use like sweet soundtracks or songs or like
that's one thing about that
guitar
show.
Fucking licks.
Yeah, when I watched Yellow Jackets, that's one thing that made me go like, oh shit, this is actually the music on this is really cool, and I like the way they like bring it in and like fade it out, and I was like, this is done really well. Like that was angst in my pants. Like, damn it! As soon as I heard it, I was like, this song's played. What? Tom's like, what are you doing? And I was like, the best song.
Yeah.
Nobody ever knows it. My age.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah, I agree. A good score is fucking paramount in a good spooky movie, a good horror movie.
Yeah.
And
have you ever seen any of Carpenter do his orchestra stuff live? Yeah.
No. He's gonna be doing a tour.
Is he? Because I didn't get to go to the last one. My brother did, and he like invited me to go, but I couldn't go for whatever reason. I think if he does it again, I'd like to try it. It's something that seems really cool.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's old as fuck too, so I don't know what cities. He for sure said he will be touring again in 2025 and will be down in LA.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he'll hit the Bay Area, but for sure LA will be a spot that he does. So keep an eye out for that. He didn't give like any like hard details. He's just like, I'm gonna do it and we're gonna, get it together and get it rolling in 2025. So that was cool. And I might, depending on when it is and what's going on, take a trip down to see that.
Exactly. That'd be cool.
Because who else is doing something? One of the Italian guys just came to the DNA Lounge and did what's his name? I think it starts with an F. Does all the weird spooky Giallo music and I can't remember his fucking name because I hate Italian.
Is it Giallo?
But like all the Italian horror movies. Not
it was like Gaio.
Not all the
or
sound.
Gaio.
Yeah. Oh, is it pronounced Giallo? Yeah, I think it's Giallo.
Is it?
Yeah. That's how I've always heard it said.
Huh.
So
Fabio Frizzi?
Yes.
That's what it was. I just looked it up.
Yes.
Yeah, it says Italian horror soundtrack composer Fabio Frizzi brings show to DNA Lounge.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. That was it.
I did not go. Enzo went because Enzo's Italian and he loves Italian horror, and I hate it. I was like, I'm not.
That makes
down
sense.
with that. But
The tracks.
it'd be cool to see John Carpenter do it. Only if he does his Big Trouble in Little China song,
It's
theme
yeah,
song.
so cool.
Yeah, but I don't know. For this movie, some kid asked me at work who's in his 30s, maybe just turned 30. He's like, he's into metal and shit. And he's like, what other horror movies think I should watch? Because he was naming some stuff he was watching. And I was like, dude, you should probably check out The Thing, because it holds up.
It
And
absolutely does.
for everyone I know, like, I don't know too many people that don't like it. So I think it kind of transcends decades and generations.
Yeah.
So I told him to check that out. I mean, the gore is good. It still looks good. Some things look a little funky, but practical effects done well with good lighting. Always, and if you're gonna make something absurd, like, make it absurd,
Yeah, go big or go home. type of
Right.
thing. Like you said, like the wigglies, all the
Yeah,
little
all that
freaking
shit.
I love the
vein
wigglies.
things. Yeah, they're like it's like
Yeah.
my favorite thing about the whole movie. It's like all of a sudden it's
Plastic
like
spaghetti
something just breaks
everywhere.
out and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it just starts flailing around.
Yep.
It's
All
so
them
good.
long legs, just
Yeah,
wiggling
God damn
around,
it.
shaking around. Bring it back to
Wheeling
long
around all over your body. Oh.
Just reminds me of the old man from fucking Family Guy.
Yeah.
Family Guy. No,
Come
here.
here,
Touch
little
my
kid.
long legs.
Yes,
It's
come
okay.
get my mail for me.
Let
Should
me
do
pet
it.
your
The
dog.
The Thing,
Oh, it's
long
okay.
legs crossover. Hey, won't you come here and let me replicate you with my long legs?
Legs and my
Oh,
wiggliest
man.
plastic spaghettis.
Oh man,
Touch
it's
my
funny because
little-
whenever things like that come up, I'm always like mental note about drawing something,
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'm like that
totally.
one might actually have to go into my
See? There you go.
my notes. And when I do, I'll be like, thanks. E."
Wait,
You
what
do
if
it.
Family Guy did predict long legs and the
Maybe.
neighbor is long legs that
Could be.
old?
Could be.
I
You
gotta
could-
watch some episodes and look around his house.
You
Dude,
could
I'm
call it.
hella
Yeah.
gonna draw that old man from
Yeah.
Family Guy with
As
long
long
legs
legs.
makeup on.
You have to.
I
have to.
absolutely have to do that now. That's
Yeah.
happening.
You should
All right.
It
do
needs
it.
to.
Goal
then-
within the next week.
And then when you do The Thing crossover, you could call it like Long Things or Thing Legs or something.
And you could have spaghetti coming out of his butt.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to have it like as like just the head with like really long
Yeah.
legs, but like it's his head. It just says like I got my long legs on.
Timestamp. We're marking
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
No,
That's it.
if anyone steals it, we're fucking
Yeah.
coming after you.
Yeah, copyright
Cease and
right here.
desist.
Probably
Yeah.
already a f***ing thing. Every time I go to look something up, I'm like, damn it, it's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
But I am putting that in my drawing.
AI's done it already. You're like, son of a bitch.
Bitch.
It's doing it
Yeah.
as we speak. You're like,
Yeah.
tomorrow you'll wake up to something on one of your social media feeds. You're like, wait, we just came up with this last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking. All right. You guys want to rate this thing?
I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear yours.
I know. I feel like I want to go last.
Really
'cause I'm-
excited.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, you're the guest, Scarlett, so you go first.
Okay. I mean, I gotta give it a 4.5. I can't
Okay.
go, I mean, besides the monster, maybe, and sad dogs. But it's like hands down my top 10, possibly top 5. So
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
disagree
Okay.
with that.
yeah.
Oh, do you want to go last, Ubliet, or do you want me to go?
I can go.
Okay. The tension
I'm
builds.
not-
It's like The Thing.
Well,
I'm
no,
so
I
excited.
I'm sure I might make you a little sad. I'm gonna go 3.75.
That's not,
Ooh,
that's
I
not,
know,
I'm
I
not
know.
sad at all.
that's not bad.
No.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I really like this movie. I think that if I would have seen it as a kid, it would be a lot higher.
Right.
It makes sense.
100%. Like if I saw it when I was seeing all the other horror movies around that time, it would probably be a 4 or 4.5. But I think even though I fucking loved it when I saw it in whenever the other one came out, like in my 30s or probably 30s, I think it just doesn't have that nostalgia that would bump it up. But like this movie is great. I really enjoyed watching it again tonight. I will watch it again. I liked the prequel too. I liked the creature, like the universe, I love In the Mouth of Madness, which is for some reason bubbled in with this. And I love that doesn't make sense, but it does because it's an apocalypse trilogy. And yeah, I would be excited to see more things in this universe. I did see like that, at least comic book wise, there's like a lot of crossovers.
Oh
Like
yeah,
they did
yeah.
like the
There's a
Hulk
bunch.
and the Thing and like all kinds of stuff. But no, I think that this movie exists for a reason. I think it still holds up now. I think the effects are great. Um, and yeah, I mean it might be more of a 4, but I feel like it's a 3.75.
I think that's a
Fair
great
enough.
score.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
for me, much like you, Scarlett, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 thingy,
Holy
fucking
snipe.
drippy,
Whoa,
squirty
timestamp this.
candy corns. Yes, it is a lot of thingy
Yowzers.
candy corns here. Like I said
Well,
before,
then
I think this is
that
like,
gives it a 4.25 average, and that's one
yeah,
of our highest.
that is
Okay.
there's
That makes sense.
nothing really wrong with the movie aside from what we talked about. Like, and those, like, it's not something that I even necessarily hate about it. It's just
No.
the monster's a little bit of a letdown at the end. I'm like, oh, man, everything holds up. I mean, I've watched it for years and years, even like uncut or cut versions you'd see, because this was another movie that was always on like the Fox Thursday night movie. The Thing was always on.
Yeah.
It's a Universal film, so I'm sure that's why. But like, there's nothing wrong with it. The acting's great, the story's good, the premise is good, the effects are good, the score's good.
Yeah.
If not, I mean, all these things, if not great. I mean, it's like one of those movies where it's like the Swiss Army knife of a movie. Like, there's nothing bad about it. Like, it does everything you want it to do, and it does it well, if not great.
I
So,
agree.
like, if someone doesn't like, I mean, it's all subjective what you like and what you don't like. But for a fan to not like this, I'm like, how do you not like it? Like,
I'd
that's something
slap
that's so confusing to me. And I've never really heard many people say they don't like it. They may say like, oh, it's okay, but I've never heard too many people be like, I fucking hate it.
It's true.
So
I have a lot of horror movie shirts, and that's the one that when I wear, I get the most like, yeah,
Right.
ooh, look at that thing. That's your favorite movie? And I was like, it's one of my favorites. It's great.
exactly.
But yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's like, if it had a better monster at the end,
Yeah.
it would probably be like the perfect movie. Not saying it would be like my
Totally.
favorite movie, but like
Absolutely.
the perfect movie, as in everything it does well.
Yeah.
So it's like, how
Agreed.
can you not think it's a great movie? So yeah, that's mine. And yeah, 4.25 candy corns is,
That's
think
damn
I'm-
good.
That is damn good.
I think if that's not the highest, that's like in the top 3 highest.
What was last one?
You did
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, that was a little lower.
Yeah, yours
it?
was lower because I remember I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that came out a little bit.
Yours was the lowest on that one,
before.
wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, of course.
Of course it was.
Of course.
But no, yeah, I mean, it's probably in at least the top 5 highest movies we've ever done.
Yeah.
Which, of course, it should be. And
It
anyone
absolutely
that doesn't
Definitely.
think so sucks and is stupid and shouldn't
Can eat a
watch
bag of
movies.
dicks.
They can
Yeah.
eat the biggest bag of long
Exactly.
tentacles.
Long leg dicks.
Long leg dicks. I wonder if he even has a dick. Ugh.
No.
God, that fucking character.
Nicholas
He's like
Cage or
a
long legs.
Cricket.
He's like a eunuch.
I feel like,
long
I feel like
Yeah.
even if he does have a dick, he puts it
he cut it
away.
off or something.
Oh,
It's
I mean,
probably
you could
like
go that
it's
far,
probably
too.
like sewn up inside a doll or a metal sphere somewhere.
That movie has traumatized us so much. We talk about it any chance we get
I
to
know.
shit on
And
it.
that's
I know
probably-
Nicolas Cage has done this to us.
He has.
I believe it.
That's
I-
son
I
of a
want to
bitch.
sue him for therapy bills
You should.
and stealing Dominic's laptop.
Yeah. He probably still has it. He's like,
I actually just looked out my window to see if like he was in it dressed up like long legs, being like,
What?
I got you.
What if that's his
I feel
natural
like he
form?
would be that weirdo. Like he's hanging out with his
That's Nick
raven,
Cage's
like
real.
yeah. He actually he did create the look of that character.
Yeah.
It
He just
probably
took
is.
his,
He's like, ooh, I'm gonna put on what I put on every night.
he
Let me
took his
take
skin
my
suit off,
skin.
and that's
I'm gonna put
that's
on
what
what
he
I
looks.
dream of myself looking like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing about the movie
Nicolas Cage.
about Nicolas Cage is
Yeah.
I do like that instead of
Make it
going
stop.
like with the original movie where it was more like a Frankenstein-y guy, a monster,
Mhm.
where it was more of like the shapeshifter and you never really knew what it looked
Yeah.
like or what it was. I
Sure.
thought that was like a great thing to bring to the film
Well, that's
from the
terrifying.
short
I mean,
story.
that's
Yeah.
what's fucking scary.
Right.
Yeah, the point where you have, like you said, the blood scene and all that. Like you don't know who's who, you don't know what's going on,
Right.
and you're just like, oh crap, who is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What does
And I
this
mean,
thing even look like? You
And every
know,
time anyone gets mad, you're like, that's him. Like,
it was
that's
that
it.
person. They're angry.
Yeah. Because
there's-
obviously, if they're aliens, they're going to be angry.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Who wants to be
one
inside of
last
people's
thing
body?
Yeah,
would go.
that's true.
This would go probably in the didn't like section.
Oh, well, we're going back to the beginning now.
Kind of. I just remembered it that this also kind of bugs me, but
Okay.
it also kind of speaks to the like genius and like rebel nature of John Carpenter, because he's just like, I don't know, like we never really decided either way about this, but like when you became the thing or when the thing became you, did you know you were the thing? Which for me, I'm like, well, how couldn't you? Because its like whole mission is to like survive and take over the world or whatever.
That's true, because if you knew you were it, then you might try and get rid of it, or you might try and like kill yourself.
Right. Or because it's you now, but
Yeah.
it's a weird.
But is it?
Yeah.
It's not your brain.
No, it absorbs.
Oh, it just takes your body.
Yeah, it turns
Right.
into you.
Oh, that's right. So it isn't you anymore.
Right.
It absorbs your cells, but
That's
like
what I mean. It's not you.
So no,
Right.
you wouldn't know because you
no,
just
no,
died.
no, but
Yeah, you're
but-
dead.
No, but in the
Or you
movie,
cease to exist.
in the movie, when Norris, when they cut the line for Nicolas Cage, or Nicolas, Jesus Christ, get out of
Whoa,
my head,
he is in
Nicolas
your
Cage.
head. He is in your head. He's outside my window.
Louis just looked out my back door.
Yeah,
And I'm
right.
scared.
I
For,
know, I'm telling you, he's around. He's everywhere. Everywhere to me.
for Kurt
For
Russell,
my
when,
long legs.
when they cut him off into the blizzard and they're locking him out, and
Yeah.
then he gets back in and they're trying to like subdue him or whatever, and he hits Norris and because he starts having a heart attack, and he's like,
That's
what?"
right.
He's acting all normal, but he's
Mhm.
acting like him, like the
That's
human
true.
being, and he's like, but it's making
That's
it look
because
like
That's because it absorbs your brain and memorizes everything. Shapeshifters always do that shit.
no, that's what I'm saying.
What?
So, but like, so
Are
when
you
do you know
saying?
it's almost, but it's almost like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's like, oh, when you fall asleep, it just downloads all your thoughts or whatever. But what happens
Okay, I got
Right.
in your body? Like it absorbs your body, but then when does the thought change to where you're
Yeah.
like, I must survive? Because in that scene, he's like doing everything he normally would do. And then he's like having a heart attack, like, oh fuck, what's wrong with me? And it's like,
Yeah.
so you think he's still a human being until the part where they're trying to, paddle him back to life. And then
Right.
you're like, oh,
That's
shit,
really
he's-
true. I didn't really think about that. That
Right.
yeah, it's like it does very much follow the normal stages, and that it's like, is that the moment that it took hold, or like,
Right.
yeah,
He's,
okay,
he's doing
okay.
everything like he normally
Yeah.
would. And then all of a sudden he's, oh, I have a heart attack. Oh shit, what's
Because
happening
like
to
if
me?
it was the alien, it would be like, oh, I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah, it wouldn't have a heart attack. It'd just be like,
Yeah.
okay. So
Oh no,
that-
there's something
yeah.
wrong with me.
True.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So that was always the thing where I'm like, but John Carpenter explains it, he's like, we didn't really know.
That's a great explanation.
Yeah, he's like,
we were learning when you guys were learning.
Yeah, we just went with it and didn't really think too much about explaining it, which is also awesome because
Again,
he's just like, fuck it.
Yeah, didn't like have to over explain or go into this
Right,
huge
which
backstory.
is part of the beauty of the movie and movies like this.
Exactly.
But also part of like why artists in air quotes are fucking stupid because they're like, we need yourself, Scarlett.
I just hit my fucking head on the goddamn doorknob. I've like never sat here. So like I stationed myself.
Oh, I can't laugh. I have to pee so bad.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I bent into the goddamn door and knocked my head on the stupid
But yeah, John Carpenter does a thing where he's just like, I don't know. We just went with it and like whatever. Which
yeah, I'm peeing. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah,
you guys just wrap up the episode. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later.
we'll take care of it. See you later, Oubliette. But like when artists, like normal people want to put and project so much shit onto a piece of art that isn't there, especially film. They're like, oh, well, it meant this and meant that and this and that. And then you ask the artist, and I get it, art's subjective to some people, but it's not when the artist is like, well, no, this is what it was.
Yeah.
You can
I
take
literally
it,
just made this.
right. You can take it however you fucking want. And that was like one of my biggest issues with going through art classes in school, because they'd always be like, oh, let's get all philosophical and shit. I'm like, ugh. But like, yeah, this is the perfect example of like everyone projecting a bunch of shit that isn't in it. He's just like, I don't know. We just didn't even think about it. We just went with it.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah.
We didn't decide. And people are like, no, it's definitely this or it's definitely that. And he's like, nope, I don't even know.
Yeah. Nope, you're all wrong. Shut up.
I'm like, oh no, we didn't think about it. We just shot it and we did it. So whatever.
It is done.
Anyway.
I'm back.
There, that was a quick pee.
That was really fast.
Really? I felt like it was a long pee. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, my like coworkers have timed me, and they say if it's ever longer than like what is it, like a minute and 10 seconds, then I'm probably pooping.
Yeah, I think
that
for
was
being
quick.
in service industry for so long,
like-
yeah, I'm just
like,
like, it's just like, shh, yeah.
Okay.
You're
You're like even faster. Are you wearing sweats?
She just pissed on all the way to the bathroom. Was like,
No, I didn't.
Got it all out.
I would admit it if I did, but this time I did not.
That'd be hilarious. This time.
This time I did not. Hey, once you're starting to peak towards mid-40s, that bladder is not what it used to be, and I definitely.
I mean,
sometimes laugh or cough and things happen. You know?
When you have to
no,
really
this was
piss,
fine. I made it.
The moment I have to pee, I have to pee. There's no question about it.
Oh yeah. No, it's just like, hey, I'm fine. I'm a normal person. I gotta go pee.
Yeah.
Like, and that's it.
Yep.
There you go. On that note, Scarlett, thanks for coming back and doing the thing with us.
Yeah, here I am. Do one of my favorite films. It's fine.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Great,
Make sure everyone checks
Appreciate it.
out Down the Hatch food reviews all over the social medias. And here's Scarlett and her trusty sidekick boss.
Yeah, DB. Watch us eat some weird
food. Sometimes
food.
delicious food.
Yeah.
And tell you how much it sucks or how great it is, or in between.
Good time.
Dude, you have really the last thing, and then we'll go. Dude, you have to do the chicken Big Mac.
So my coworker got it the day it came out, and like when he ordered it, I was like, dude, I can't eat that today. And like I looked at Dave and I was like, do you want to do it? And he's like, no, I don't. And I was like, okay. So like we didn't get it, and then now we're just kind of like, I think we're past it. But I mean, I don't know, because I mean at the same time, like we do stuff kind of late sometimes, and we still get a decent amount of hits. It's like the Addams Family one. I didn't realize that'd been out since like fucking end of September.
Whatever.
And I was like, okay, so we did it, and it was interesting. But so I guess I hate McDonald's. Like anytime I eat it, it's like a brick just sits in my stomach.
Yeah, I get
for
it.
hours until I take a brick shit.
I want to try it just because I'm like,
it's just 2 chicken patties with 4 buns, 3 buns,
right? 3 buns, and
3 buns.
Some,
Oh, is it the chicken Big Mac?
Sauce. Yeah,
it's a lot of bread and a lot of chicken.
Yeah,
yeah,
a lot of sauce
and breaded chicken.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
it still looks delicious though. As I'm out the door going to McDonald's right now.
You're
I mean,
out.
it's
See you guys later.
no double down, but sure.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was one. Yeah.
I
Chicken
never
on
tried
chicken.
one, but it looked gnarly.
So
Real
did
gnarly.
so did her toilet afterwards.
It's true.
Oh, did you have it?
Oh, I had that, yeah, but not on the channel.
Oh, okay.
That was just something I
Oh.
gluttonously
I'm like,
did
really?
myself. Yeah. Yeah, no, I did have it, but we didn't try it on there. That was a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it belly bubbled real good for that one.
Bubble guts.
Yeah, hot
Bubble
snakes and bubble guts.
Yeah. All right,
Got that
dudes.
bubble guts.
God,
Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Monster Candy Podcast.
yeah.
Check us out next time where we might get to do another Carpenter episode before October ends. But anyway, yeah, guys.
If we're on our shit.
If we are on our
Or
shit.
maybe if we're off our shit and
Yeah, we'll
not
see.
canceling all the
Hello,
time.
Mr.
We'll see.
Fancy Pants.
I hear you looking for
Wild
candy,
cards. Who
man.
knows? That's the
Give me
fun.
some sugar,
That's
baby.
the fun of it.
Like
But
scary.
anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you
Candy?
Groovy.
You ever dance with the dim light of pale moonlight?
We don't have to be mean.
Yeah, Jack Burton just looks that big old storm right square in the eye and he says, "Get away from her, you bitch!"
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Your move, creep.
Listen to them. Children of the night. What music they make.
Want some candy?